I spent $100,000 on this abandoned property to build a homestead. I will have 6 months to complete this task before winter hits. Will I be able to do it or will I fail? Stay tuned and find out. And if you guys are enjoying this content, like and subscribe. So we are actually almost to the property now, and this property I only seen it in pictures, so I don't know exactly what needs to be done to make it livable. Wow, so this property's in a lot better shape than I thought, which is good for us because we can get started on the other projects we want to do. So we got 50 acres of land, and our house is in good shape. But the first thing we need to do, we need to clear out a spot because we need a chicken coop. So I ended up buying a can of spray paint on my way up here. So we're going to be marking the trees we want to keep and the trees we got to get rid of. So I think that'll probably be the first thing we do. So I'm thinking for this chicken coop, we're not going to go too big, but we are going to clear out the area for when we get money, we can actually put more. So I'm going to try to make it as straight as possible and take out probably around 20 trees. That should be enough room for everything we need to start out with. But we got no money to actually do anything. We got $524, which is not going to do much when you got to buy food and whatnot, trying to survive out here. But I was talking to a local. He actually owns a sawmill, and we can actually sell some wood to him. So that's what we're going to be doing. Try to get some income and try to fund this whole operation. And hopefully we can get this done before winter. Anyway, we get the trees marked out that we want to get rid of, so let's get cutting. So it's probably about 15 trees, and we're going to be cutting them so we can actually handle them and put them in back of our pickup truck. I wish I had a trailer, it would make it a lot easier, but we just didn't have the money for it. The land just costs, well, $100,000, which is a good price for 50 acres of land. So I guess I can't really complain, but we don't have a lot of starting money to fund this operation. So we're going to have to cut wood and sell it. Well, I was cutting wood for 40 minutes now, guys, and we got a big dent put in. We got probably 4 trees left to cut down. But then we got to delimb everything and cut it up into, I'm going to say, 8-foot pieces. I think I should be able to handle that. Because the longer the wood, the longer lumber he can make, and the more money we get. And we might get him to cut us some lumber for our chicken coop, if you don't mind. So let's get this delimbed and let's get this done, so we can actually get some money. And just like that, we have all the lumber cut up, ready to go. We gotta just put it in back for our truck. Now this is probably not the most ideal truck for living in the bush, but at least we got a lift kit. I had this truck for a long time and I really couldn't part with it. I got everything else sold off, but this is what I wanted to keep. And we'll probably end up with a squatted truck with all the lumber we're gonna put on. We're gonna make sure we got a good load. We got about 40-minute drive to actually get to the sawmill. So I got to do what I got to do to get the wood over there so we can actually make some money. Okay, so I think this might be the last one. We actually got too much on as it is, and I don't want to beat up my truck because, well, just look. It's squatting already. It's not good on it. And I don't want to ruin my tailgate, so we'll strap this down. Oh, it brought the truck up. Okay. Anyway, we're going to head to the sawmill, which is our closest neighbor, and that's a 40-minute drive, so if we break our truck, we got a long walk ahead of us. But the plans for this property is very simple. We get 6 months before winter hits, and we need to make a source of income, and we need to be able to survive out here, so that's why we're getting chickens, we're going to get cows, we're going to get any animal we can to actually make this possible. And who knows, we might be able to do some odd jobs for the guy that owns a sawmill or other neighbors we got. We just gotta find them first. Now, this is probably not the smartest idea. We're going 100 and we got a load of logs on and I could feel the truck taking off. Oh, maybe we should slow down. Yeah, good thing we did. There's a turn we're supposed to be taking. Oh, we almost went off the road. Our truck can't handle this. Alright, so I'm finally at the sawmill. It was a 35-minute drive. We were going a bit fast in one spot, so we made up some time. But here's his sawmill. He's going to be cutting lumber for us. But in the future, we should probably get our own sawmill. It might save us a bit of time if we can actually do it on our property, and maybe we can sell lumber. Yeah, I think that would be a good idea, but let's try to find the owner and see if we can work out some deal where we can get some chickens. So it actually been a couple of days and we were talking to the owner of the sawmill and we do have a deal worked out. It's just we gotta wait for him to actually get the chickens ready. So we're just cleaning up the property and trying to get it sorted. Okay, so we got a pile of wood. We got a bunch of stumps in our way, and I think he said he did have a backhoe we can borrow. Well, we do have to give him a load of wood for it, so that's why we got this put to the side. But I think that's where we're at right now. We need to go down and get this backhoe so we can get rid of the stumps and try to level out a spot for our chicken coop. I just realized, guys, we're going to have a problem if we keep driving this 40 minutes each time. There's no gas stations close by here, so I guess we're going to have to try to get some sort of tank put on our property and fill it up so we have fuel whenever we need it. But where is this backhoe? It must be behind the shed. I don't know why he just don't put it inside. It would make a lot more sense. Okay, so this is probably not going to be the fastest trip to bring this John Deere 410 up, but it will come in handy. We're able to dig stuff out, level stuff off. Let's just hope it starts. Okay, come on. Yeah, okay. He did say he didn't start it for a while, so maybe that's why it's not starting, but I hope it does. Okay, yeah, there we go. So I guess I'm going to be leaving my truck here and we're going to make the trip. So if it is 40 minutes by truck, how long is it going to be by backhoe? Probably 6 hours at this rate, because I think we can only go 40. Let me tell you, I thought these roads were rough before in the pickup, but imagine in backhoe. Yeah, these roads are terrible. We've been driving for 3 hours now, and I gotta say, we're probably over halfway. I'm hoping anyway. Everything looks the same out here. And I'm pretty new to the area. I'm just going off by the roads. But please, let this trip be quick. Yes, finally, we're back to our property. Oh god, that took forever. But we are here. So, oh, it looks like I missed a log. So I guess we get to practice with the bucket. So we're going to be pushing this log. Okay, so we'll push that up to the pile, and I might use that as firewood. We do need to get a new wood stove for our house. It is rusted out, so that will be one of the first purchases. Or if we can find one and we get that put in the pile. So you know what time it is now. We need to try to level off a spot, and I sure hope this machine can do it. So let's try it. And just like that, we have a spot cleared out for our chicken coop, which is good because we're supposed to be getting our chickens within a day or two. And we only got this machine for the rest of today. We gotta bring it back tomorrow. So let's get set up, and we got 20 stumps left to do. Oh my, this is gonna take us forever, but we need to do it. We won't have a tractor here every day, so the most we can get done today will help us in the future. So let's get these dug out, and here we go. There goes the first of many. Oh, we still got 19 more to do, but I must say, it didn't take us long to do that first one. Maybe in the future, we'll probably have to invest in a machine like this. But for right now, we definitely don't have the money for it. We got a lot of things we got to do to get this operational before winter. But let's get the rest of these stumps done so we can move on and hopefully get a chicken coop built by tomorrow. Well guys, it's been a few days, but as you can tell, we got our chicken coop done. Now, we didn't use any of the wood we actually cut down for lumber. We ended up going to help a local friend, and guess what? He was tearing down a bin site, and we got the materials needed for a chicken coop. Now we have one. Now we're just waiting on our chickens. Alright, so I'm just chopping up some firewood, and you guys might hear a sound. Yes, we got our chickens and roosters. So we ended up getting 8 chickens, 2 roosters, and a big bag of chicken feed, and we topped up the tractor we were using, which left us with $72. So we spent $452, which is not good because $72 is not going to last a long time, especially since everywhere we go is at least a 40-minute drive. So we're going to be loading up another load of logs that we can sell to the sawmill, and hopefully we can get a good amount for it. I'm going to try to grab the longest ones because they pay better, and all the wood's pretty straight. Now I'm going to put this to the side because that's good firewood. We need that for our house to actually heat it up. Anyway, let's try to get this loaded up, and hopefully we get a good amount for it. Oh, we need money bad. This was probably not the best idea, but if it works, we will have a functional homestead. That's if we can make it that far. But this is the first week down, and I guess we kind of did make progress. We cleared out an area we could put our farm later and some chicken coops. So that's 1 week down, and hopefully from here on out, they get a little bit easier and better. I spent $100,000 on this abandoned property to build a homestead. I will have 6 months to complete this task before winter hits. Will I be able to do it or will I fail? Stay tuned and find out. And if you guys are enjoying this content, like and subscribe. Well guys, it's another day here at the homestead and we got ourselves a dog, which should help protect our chickens. Anyway, we got some big plans for today. So we're going to be driving by the sawmill, so we should probably bring a load of logs down and try to get some money. And you guys may notice I don't sound the same. I'm just getting over a really bad flu and my throat is just not there yet, but I just wanted to make a video. I wonder, can I fit one more? I should be able to. We'll just put it up top. Anyway, we're going to go see Ricky. So Ricky actually owns a sawmill, so when we drops this off, he's after buying a property and he wants us to go clean it up. It's been abandoned for 5 years and there's a lot of stuff up there, but he said anything we find we get to keep, so hopefully we find something that's worth keeping. And I forgot, he's gonna pay us, which is gonna come in handy because we are broke. Okay, well that's pretty creepy. The fog is really thick and I never see it like that here. Okay, we'll go right through it. Oh, please don't crash. And we are finally at the sawmill so we can sell these logs, and we gotta see Ricky. Oh, and it looks like he got our lumber cut up. I'll have to come back and grab that later on, but that's going to come in handy because I need to build a shed. Anyway, we got that all unloaded and I was talking to Ricky, so we're going to go up to this abandoned property and it's about a 40-minute drive from here. But before we go up there, I got to wait here because there's Wi-Fi and Ricky's supposed to be sending us money for a log, so I got to wait here until we get the money. And we ended up getting $150, which isn't too bad for a pickup load of logs, but I think in the future, we're definitely going to have to invest in a trailer because right now this trip is really far and we're just not making enough money. Anyway, I've been driving for 40 minutes and he said the road is very hard to see. Okay, I found it. Yeah, it is definitely hard to see. You weren't wrong, Ricky. I'm just hoping it's not too muddy. I don't want to get stuck and there's no service out here, so I would have to walk all the way back to Ricky's sawmill and call for help. Alright, so we're pulling up to the property and oh, this was abandoned for a while. But they got some nice stuff here. Is that a tractor? He did say we can have whatever we find, but did he mean the tractor too? Now, I know it's been abandoned for 5 years, but I gotta see if this tractor will start up because it's gonna help me out a lot clearing this property. So what kind of tractor is it anyway? Okay, so it's an International 845 XL. Nice tractor. I don't know what the year is, but it do look old, but it is in good shape and it would help out our homestead a lot. We'll come back to this. Let's see what else they got. Oh my god, there's a greenhouse. We need one. I could definitely take that apart. So we'll be taking this apart and put it in the truck. Oh, there's a lot of good stuff on this property, which is going to help our homestead out a lot. Yeah, this is perfect. Look at the size of it. With this, we'll be one step closer to being completely off-grid. I mean, the house is in pretty rough shape, but there's still a lot of good parts to it now. I don't know what he's doing with it right now, but we're taking that barbecue. But all the siding, doors, and windows look good. Now, the roof is in rough shape, but if we can get it, we can build something on our own property. And we got a canoe. Now, there's grass growing into it. I don't know if there's a hole. Oh, I'm definitely taking this porch swing. Now, I don't really have a porch, but it looked nice on the property somewhere. I wonder, anything in here good? Now, the outside is in rough shape. I'm definitely not taking anything from this, but there's nothing in here. Dang, I thought there would be. Let's check the other one. And for the moment of truth, is there anything in here? Okay, there's a pressure washer. Nice. I am definitely taking that. They're like $5,000 brand new. And I mean, he did say we can have whatever we find. So for the next part, we're going to actually have to tear down the barns. So I think this tractor might come in handy if we can get it started. Come on, please. Please start. Yeah, I don't know if I got stuff in the back of the truck to actually help it, but we're going to go check and see. Actually, I'm just going to bring the truck over instead of always walking back and forth because there's probably other stuff in here that might be useful. I know I had a can of starting fluid. I'm hoping it's still there. Ah, there it is. And we got half a can, so we should have more than enough to actually get this tractor started or blow it up. We'll give it a couple of sprays and hopefully it starts up. We don't want to do too much. We don't want to blow it up. Okay, let's give it a go. Please start. Please start. I think it's going to. It's so close. There we go. Okay, so we're going to let that warm up for a bit, probably a while because it wasn't going for 5 years, but I think I'm going to take down the greenhouse and bring it back to the property. Alright guys, so it's actually been 4 hours since we took down the greenhouse. We had to drive all the way back to the property, but we got it back there. Now we're going to set it up later, but for now, I think we should hop in the tractor and start cleaning up this property, and I think we're going to start with the sheds. We're going to tear them down first with this tractor, and I don't think it should take us too long. That's if it works. Okay, so the hydraulics work, so we should be good to go. And now it's time for the fun part. We're gonna rip this down, and hopefully this machine can do it. Well, that didn't take too long, probably about an hour, but we got that leveled and put to a pile off to the side and all cleaned up. Now it's time for the very last one he wants us to take down on this property. Oh geez, I almost forgot about my brand new pressure washer. Now that would have been something if I started destroying the shed and I ruined my brand new pressure washer that I just found. Anyway, we're gonna bring that over to the truck and we're gonna put it in the back. I'm hoping it's not too heavy because I gotta lift it myself. Wait, if it's too heavy, I'll just use the tractor. Yeah, that's a good idea. Anyway, we get that put on the truck and it was actually super heavy, but I was able to do it by hand. So I'm gonna put the barbecue and anything else we want in the truck and we're gonna bring it back to the property. Alright guys, so it's actually been a couple hours, but we're back to the abandoned property and we just finished leveling the second shed. Everything is cleaned up. We're gonna park this tractor here for now. I'm gonna talk to Ricky later and see if I can actually have this tractor because I did actually find it on the property. But anyway, everything looks good. We're coming back at a future date to actually clean up the ground, but for now it looks good. Alright, so before we head back to our property, we actually gotta stop at the sawmill so we can get Wi-Fi so Ricky can send our money. And I want to ask him about that tractor. But that reminds me, I guess we're gonna have to make another trip because I got the pressure washer and we need to grab our lumber. Holy moly guys, we just made $3,000 clearing that property and Ricky said we can have the tractor, so it is a very good day for us. So we're going to be heading back to our property now. We just got to figure out how we're getting back over to get the tractor. Maybe Ricky will grab us. Anyways, we're back at the property and I should probably slow down before we end up in the woods. Well, I mean further in the woods because we are in the woods. I'm just going to take this pressure washer off and put it to the side. And I might actually hook it up later because our truck is starting to look pretty filthy and we should clean it up. I know we're in the woods and it's just going to be like it 5 minutes after we clean it, but I would like to do it. Anyway, I ended up cleaning up this canoe and guess what guys? There's no holes, so when we find a lake, we're going to go use it. Also, we got our greenhouse set up and everything is ready to go. We got seeds so we can have some fresh veggies on the property. So guys, it's actually been a few hours. I went inside and went on Marketplace since we got Wi-Fi here. And I was able to find us a water trailer, which we're going to need. Since we have the greenhouse now and a pressure washer, our well can't keep up with the amount of water we're going to need, so it was a good investment and we were able to get it for a good price and still have money left over. Anyway, I'm on the way back to the property with our brand new trailer. I spent $2,000 for it, but I must say it was well worth it. This trailer looks brand new. There's no rust in the tank. There's no damage to it. It holds a lot of water and I was able to fill it up on our way back up, so we won't have to do that later. Oh, and did I mention we're getting cows? So the guy I actually bought this trailer off is selling a couple cows and we're gonna buy them. Anyway, let's fill up this greenhouse. So I actually planted some strawberries, lettuce, cabbage, carrots, tomatoes, a bunch of veggies and strawberries. So we should be able to be completely off grid very soon, hopefully, once we get our cows. But everything looks good. Everything is working the way it's supposed to. We got chickens. They should be getting some eggs very soon, hopefully. Well, I think I should put this trailer somewhere close to the greenhouse, so I'm thinking right behind it. And I might be able to hook my pressure washer up to it, and we can clean our truck off later. So after I get this disconnected, I'm actually going to bring the pressure washer over here so I can actually get it hooked up. So Ricky actually just texted me back and he said he will pick me up in a couple hours. So I think we're going to clean up the yard a little bit after we move this pressure washer. And we're probably going to cut down some trees because we're getting cows very soon and we need to make a big enclosure with a fence. And I kind of want to build a shed at some point, so we're going to need a spot. Yeah, I think this should be good. We'll leave it here and we'll go grab our chainsaw so we can actually get this started because we got a couple hours. Well, I got a little sidetracked and started playing with the dog and there goes his ball. I better get that. That's his favorite toy. Can't lose that. I can't just go buy one, so we gotta make sure we keep it. Here you go, boy. Go get it. I guess he's a bit tired. We've been playing fetch for the last 10 minutes. But anyways, I should probably finish the task I was trying to do. Okay, so I got my chainsaw and I think we got enough room in the back. There's this tree right here I think will be in the way for our new enclosure. So we'll cut that down and we'll get that chopped up. Timber, there it goes. We'll chop that up and bring that to the sawmill, but there's one more tree I want to get rid of because I think this will be the spot for a shed in the future. And here goes the last log. Okay, we finally got all the trees cut down today that we want out of our way. and we got a couple stumps we're gonna get when we get our tractor. I might have to move that tree, I'm not too sure yet, but overall I think we did a good job. Anyways, Ricky just dropped us off to the tractor, and I just realized I didn't bring any starter fluid, or if there's a dead battery I got no way to charge it. And for the moment of truth, will it start? Okay, it started. No problem at all. This tractor is pretty much like brand new. It's in really good shape, so they really took care of it, but we still got a long drive ahead of us. This only goes almost 40. Oh, it's gonna take all night. Well, that had to be the most painful 3-hour drive I have ever had to do. That road is so rough in the tractor, you don't realize when you're in the truck. But anyway, let's get these logs pushed out of the way, and let's try to get this place leveled off. We still got a couple hours before it's nighttime. Well, this should be good enough, so I ended up putting it on a little bit of a slope so the water will run down the bank instead of pooling up in the middle, but it didn't take me too long. This tractor is going to help us out a lot, but I did notice some of the hydraulic fittings are leaking, so we gotta tighten them up, or we might have to buy a new line, but it should be good enough for now. But anyways, I'm gonna try to clean up my truck while we still got a little bit of daylight left, and I'm getting pretty tired, so this is gonna be it till tomorrow, guys. See ya. I spent $100,000 on this abandoned property to build a homestead. I will have 6 months to complete this task before winter hits. Will I be able to do it, or will I fail? Stay tuned to find out. And if you guys are enjoying this content, like and subscribe. So guys, it's been a few days here on the homestead, and our veggie garden's actually coming in pretty good. Anyway, we were pretty busy the last couple days. So we actually got our enclosure done for our cattle, and he should be here within the next few hours. It took me about a day to get the fence up. I went with a pretty big area because I'm planning on getting more cattle in the future, and I was able to get this feeder and water set up for free off one of my neighbors. But anyways, the cattle should be here very soon, and we don't have water in our water tank, so we're gonna go do that right now, and hopefully we can get that filled up before he gets here. Alright, so I got the trailer hooked up and we're ready to go. It's about a 40-minute drive there and back, so hopefully we can get back before he gets here. Alright, so we're just on the way back with our first load of water, and by the looks of it, he's still not here, so we might go for another one. We'll fill up the water trough, and hopefully it takes the whole trailer so we can go and get another one for backup. Anyways, we got that filled up with some nice lake water. The cows are gonna love that. But now I'm looking at the cow enclosure and realizing how big it is. We're probably gonna have to take down a couple more trees. I kind of want to make an area for a shed before winter gets here, and my plan was to do it right next to the cow enclosure, but now that I think about it, it's probably not the best option. We'll probably put it further down the road. Hey look, the dog's going for an adventure. Anyways, we are back to the property with the second load of water for a rainy day, and he's still... Oh wait, never mind, he is here. I can hear the truck. Okay, he just pulled up. Let's go see what he's doing. And guys, that's a nice truck. I would like to have one like that. Alright, so Farmer John just took the cows off the trailer. I'm just grabbing the hay I bought off him just to get us started. Guys, check it out. We got 6 cows. They kind of make the enclosure look very small now. Anyways, I should probably pay John his money so he can get on the road again. Alright, so we gave John $1,000 and we're down to $321 again. We don't have a lot of money, so we're gonna have to be doing odd jobs for people, but I'm gonna put this hay out of the way for now, and we're probably gonna have to top it up later. But he did mention the job he wants us to do, so we're actually gonna be clearing the property for him. We gotta cut down a lot of trees, build a road, and he wants to build a log cabin at some point. So we're gonna have to go to Ricky's and actually grab his dozer. But since we gotta drive past the sawmill, there is a couple of trees I would like to cut down. So I was going to put the garage there, but I think down here would be a better option. So there's about 3 to 4 trees I need to cut down. So let's grab our chainsaw and get these trees cut down. Alright, so we'll cut down this tree first, and I kind of want to do it so it don't go in the road and block us off. So here goes nothing. Timber. Uh-oh, this ain't good. We created a bad situation. Okay, good thing it fell down. That was a widowmaker, and I wasn't really comfortable to cut down the other tree. Alright, so let's go cut down the other tree. And guys, I've been thinking we need to make money a little bit faster, and we got a lot of trees around here. We are bringing some to the sawmill, but I'm thinking for the ones we can't bring to the sawmill, we'll cut up for firewood and we'll try to sell it to people around here. I know they probably cut their own firewood, but there's gotta be someone we can get some money at, and that one went in the road. Okay, so it's been about 45 minutes and we got all these trees delimbed. We just gotta cut them up and get them loaded onto our truck. I really need to invest in a trailer, but right now we're still trying to get this homestead up and running, and there's stuff that's more important right now. And here goes the last log. We got it brought up to the pile. Now we got to load onto the truck. But I am beat, guys. This is a lot of work. Anyway, we got a spot cleared out. Now we'll deal with the stumps at a later date. We do have other jobs to do for other people right now. But first, let's get these logs on our truck so we can head to the sawmill. Now I've been thinking, guys, we need to get some sort of tank brought over where we got a tractor now and our truck. We're going to need a tank over here so we can start filling up our equipment. And for the final log, I think I could put this on top. Now I'm hoping we don't have too many put on. We'll strap that down just in case. Oh, our poor truck is really taking a beating. We really need to get a trailer, but like I said, we just don't have the money right now. We got to try to get this homestead up and running before winter. Alright, so we're just pulling up to Ricky's sawmill, and guys, I'm getting pretty tired of that 40-minute drive, but that's the only sawmill in this area. So I guess we're just going to have to deal with it for now anyway. Okay, so we pretty much got this unloaded. Now Ricky's been pretty busy with the sawmill. He got other customers, so we're just putting our wood to the side right now. But I was talking to Ricky, and the dozer we actually need is on the abandoned piece of property we helped clean up. Okay, so we end up making $850 off those logs, which is really good money, guys. If we can keep that up, we should be able to buy a lot of things that we need for this homestead. Anyways, we're pulling up to Ricky's new property, and there's his new D4 dozer. What a nice dozer. That's the one we're going to be using to clear John's property. Anyway, we're going to try out Ricky's new road, and guys, it's not very good. I hope we don't get stuck. We're going to have to put it in 4-wheel drive just in case, especially with the trailer on. Oh, it looks like Ricky got a track loader too. I guess we'll be using that to clear the property and to tear down a house later on. And we might get a loan of it for our own property. I just hope we can get this trailer down this new road without any problems. We had problems coming in and we didn't even have the trailer. Anyways, we got that hooked up, but check out this track loader. It's a Case 855D. What a nice machine. It is a bit older, but it will do the job. We are just redlining this truck. We do not want to get stuck, but I think Ricky needs to put some rock down. Anyway, we are finally out, so let's get this dozer put on the trailer. I sure hope our truck can pull it. Ricky said he does it all the time with his truck, but I don't know. I don't really trust him. It seems like a lot of weight. Anyways, we have it loaded on the trailer now. We just put the blade down and make sure the rake don't beat up the boards. But let's strap this down so we can get on our way. Well, that's not going anywhere. Now, I sure hope the trailer brakes work on this because this is really heavy and the truck brakes aren't that good. Alright, so we're almost to John's property now, and this truck is... Okay, we had a bad sway. Okay. We gotta be careful. It's pushing the truck. Anyway, there's John. We're at his property. Hopefully he didn't see that. It's pretty embarrassing. I'm just gonna pull in front of John, and I better be careful because I don't want to destroy his truck. Okay, right here should be good enough. Let's go see what John wants done. So John just finished marking some trees as boundaries. He don't want us to go past that, so we'll unload this dozer and we'll get a row pushed in so we can actually get in there and start cutting down trees. Now we gotta cut down a lot of trees. I was hoping John would let us have the trees we cut down because we got a loan of Ricky's trailer and we could haul a lot back to the sawmill, but he plans on keeping them to build a log cabin, so he's going to leave them where we dropped them to and let them dry out. Alright, so I've been pushing this row for about 30 minutes now, and the ground is just terrible. It's really boggy material, so we'll do our best and hopefully the sun can dry it out a bit. Anyways, that looks good to me. So let's go grab our chainsaw and we'll cut down these trees. It's probably going to take us 3 hours. You know what, guys? After we get this all cut down, we're going to become a pro logger. This is a lot of trees to cut down by yourself. It's a good thing John's paying good money for us to do it because I probably wouldn't do it. Timber. And here goes number 2. We're going to drop another log. Timber. And another one. And another one. We the best. Anyways, it's been a few hours and we're about halfway done. Alright, so it's actually been 3 hours now, and John just stopped by and he said with this tree here, it should be enough to actually build his cabin. He don't actually want to cut down any more until he knows where he's putting his cabin, but look how many we cut down. I am beat. He better pay good. Anyways, he actually wants us to put the dozer at the end of the row we made so no one can get at it, and it's going to be here for a little bit. So I got a feeling in the future there's going to be more jobs for us. But let's hurry up and get this done. I got to feed my chickens, my dog, and my cows. We got a lot of work to do at our homestead. And before we leave, John actually wants us to put the trailer in front of the road so no trucks go in and try to steal his wood. Man, I was hoping we can get a loan at the trailer for our property. Okay, so we got that unhooked and it's sinking in the mud a little bit. I'm hoping it don't sink too much so I can get my truck out. Okay, we're good to go. So let's go back to our property. John's actually going to be sending our money, and by the time we get back it should be there, which is good because I want to go on Marketplace and see if I can get some log forks or some solar panels. And here's some food for Lily. Anyway, we got our money from John. We ended up getting $3,500, so we're up to $4,600, which should be able to buy us log forks and probably some solar panels if we can find them. But the temperatures are supposed to drop tonight and we're running low on firewood, so we're gonna have to chop some up and bring some over to the house. Now, we don't have a lot of wood that's super dry right now, so I think tomorrow when we get a bit more time, we're actually gonna have to cut down a couple more trees and put to the side for firewood. Anyways, I think this should be enough for tonight, so we'll chop up this last piece, then we'll bring everything over to the house. You know what, I should probably look on Marketplace to see if I can get a wheelbarrow or some kind of wagon so we can actually bring the firewood over a lot easier and bring more over at a time. That would probably be a good idea. Anyways, I think this should be enough for tonight, and tomorrow we'll stock right up and we'll put a lot here. But I think we did a lot in the last couple of days. We got our cows, we got firewood, we made a lot of money, but I'm tired, Grandpa. I spent $100,000 on this abandoned property to build a homestead. I will have 6 months to complete this task before winter hits. Will I be able to do it or will I fail? Stay tuned to find out. And if you guys are enjoying this content, like and subscribe. Well guys, it's been a few days here at the homestead and I ended up paying $4,500 and we bought a couple of things. So I ended up getting this log fork for our tractor, which is going to come in handy. We got a plow and we got a seeder. Oh, and I got this fuel tank off Ricky. Anyways, my plan now is to actually build a field, and we got a lot of land right here, so I'm gonna cut down a couple of trees and we're gonna plow it and hopefully we can get something planted. I know it's September, so that means we don't really have a lot of options of what we can plant. So I'm thinking I'm gonna do wheat. Oh, and I gotta find a way to fill this tank, but I'm gonna head over to the sawmill and grab a log trailer. Anyways, I'm just pulling up to the sawmill and this trailer is massive. I sure hope my truck can tow it. Yeah, this don't look the best. Anyways, let's go back to the property so we can cut these trees down. I mean, we do have a log trailer and there's a bunch of logs right here. We could make some serious money if we took them. But I can't do that, Farmer John. He do give us work. And after driving for 40 minutes, we are finally back to our property. So my plan right now is to cut down enough trees to fill this trailer. Which might not be the smartest idea because this is the only truck we have, and if we beat it up, we're stuck here. So I'm going to put the truck here for now. It should be good. Anyway, let's grab our chainsaw and we'll go cut these trees down. There's about 40 trees we actually got to cut down. So here goes the first of many trees we got to cut down. Timber. Alright, so 39 more to go. So it's been about 4 hours and we got all the trees cut down and de-limbed. But I think I'm going to cut them a little bit longer where we got a tractor with log forks so we can load this trailer. It don't matter how heavy the logs are. Alright, so we got that done and it took me a lot longer than I thought. But we only got a couple more hours of daylight, so I better go grab the tractor and load this trailer. So these log forks I actually bought off a neighbor about 30 minutes away from me. He's actually retiring and he wants to leave this area, so he sold everything very cheap. He do have another thing I want, but I didn't have the money to actually buy it at the time. So when I sell these logs, I should have more than enough to actually buy his cultivator. And we should be one step closer to actually having an off-grid farm. Alright, so let's get this truck backed over, and guys, I'm really no good at driving these trailers with the axle like this. This is going to be so hard to do. We'll just take our time and hopefully we can get it. It may take me an hour, but we'll get it. Let's try to straighten it up so it's a little bit easier. Oh, this is so hard. Next time I won't pull in head on. We'll find a spot where we can actually turn around. Finally, we can get these logs loaded. It only took me about 20 minutes to get the trailer over here, but better late than never. So we got about 2 hours before Ricky's actually leaving the sawmill, and that don't leave us with a lot of time to load this trailer, so I better be quick. And here goes the very first log. I don't know how many we actually need to put on this trailer to fill it up, but we're gonna make sure it's full. Alright, so it's been about 30 minutes now, and I got the trailer about halfway full. I'm starting to get a hang of it, but I'm still a bit rough on the control, so it's taking a little bit longer, but we'll manage. So I got the trailer pretty much full. I'm gonna see if I can fit at least one more log on, and I'm hoping it's not too much. And I'm just realizing this ground here is pretty wet, and we're parked here with a loaded log trailer with a pickup truck. I sure hope we can get out. But anyways, I think we got enough logs on, so let's park this, strap everything down, and we'll hop in the truck and head to the sawmill. Yeah, this is a lot of weight for this truck. We almost got stuck once, but I think we should be pretty good now if we stay on the main road. Now, I did realize the brakes on the trailer aren't that good, and the ones on the truck, they're not really that good either, so hopefully there's no big hills, or we're gonna end up in the woods. Well, further in the woods. Okay, so I'm about halfway there, and okay, never mind. Oh, we're fishtailing. Okay. Keep it on the road. Okay, so that was actually really bad. It could have been a lot worse. I almost had to go back to the house and change my clothes. Anyways, I'm just pulling up to the sawmill and I can see Ricky's not here. We just missed him. So I guess I'll leave the trailer in the middle and give him a quick call so we can get paid. Alright, so we just made $4,500 off these logs, which is a nice bit of money. It's going to help us out a lot. So when I get back to the house, I'm going to call the neighbor and see if he can drop that off. Anyways, I'm back at the property and I was talking to the neighbor. He's going to drop it off tomorrow. So for right now, I'm going to grab the tractor, we're going to put the plow on, and we're going to get to work. I'm just hoping the soil's good and there's no major rocks in our way for this field. I actually bought this plow and the seeder off Farmer John. I got it for a good deal. We ended up paying $3,000 for it. So the equipment is a bit older, but I think it'll be perfect for what we're using it for. At least for this year anyway. Probably in a year or two, when we actually get this more developed, we might have more fields. But for right now, the size of farm we're having, this is the perfect size. Anyways, let's get to plowing. We're going to try right here first. I'm hoping this tractor is big enough. It should have enough power. Okay, everything seems to be good. The ground actually looks alright. There is a few stones in it. Now, I wish we could afford a stone picker, but we definitely can't. Farmer John do have one, so if we ever need one, we can get a loan of his. Well, I don't think that was too bad for our very first pass. Let's try another one. Now, I am noticing this ground is really wet. We might have to let it dry out for a couple of days before we actually cultivate it and plant some seeds. I was thinking about doing the field half barley and half wheat, but I think I'm just going to go all wheat this time, just to see if we can actually get something to grow here. Next year I will end up doing 3 to 4 different types of crop if all goes well this year. And I might actually do a hay field somewhere on this property. We're going to have to clear out a couple more spots obviously for some fields. Now I'm not going to do massive fields because my plan is to pretty much just have it for me. I will end up selling some of the crop, but it's just too far away to actually make it profitable unless I sell to neighbors. Which reminds me, the neighbor I actually bought the log forks off, he got some pigs he's getting rid of next week, so I guess we might get some pigs. Now we gotta build an enclosure first, so that means we're gonna have to cut down more logs and bring it to the sawmill. Anyways, it's been 3 hours and we finally almost got this field done. I got one more pass to do and I'm starting to struggle a bit now. I guess we're into harder ground. I'm just hoping the soil will be good enough to actually plant some crop, and that I didn't just waste a bunch of money on equipment that's no good for me. Alright, so I'm just doing the last pass now, and I just got off the phone with my neighbor and he's unable to bring our cultivator up today, and I'm not really too concerned about it for the fact that I want to let this ground dry for a couple of days. It is very wet, the tractor's starting to get stuck on it, and I just think a couple of days with sun will help out. Also, I have a lot of chores around the property I can do in the meantime, so it's not that big of a deal. Anyways, it's been a few days and the field's actually drying out pretty good. Our neighbor should be here later on today with our cultivator, but I've been going around the property and checking it out, seeing where I could put stuff in the future, and I kind of found something. So not even 5 minutes from the house, there's actually a pond on our property, which I didn't know about, and it's actually a good size, so in the future we might put something down here. There's also a creek running into it, and there's a lot of water, which I could be filling up my water trailer down here. So I think in the future I'm going to try to build a road up through here, and it's actually a straight run to the house, so it should be pretty easy. So my plan was to actually put the garage where the tractor is, but I think I might move it over here, just so I could put the road over here and have a straight run to the pond without any turns. Anyways, I'm getting pretty hungry, so I'm going to run to the house and grab something to eat, and I'm going to send the neighbor his money. Some food for Lily, and guys, I end up paying $2,500 to our neighbor. It is is a bit more than I wanted to spend, but I'm ready to start planting, so I need to cultivate the field before I can actually plant. And it was actually the only one for sale that was pretty close to me and that could be delivered, so I can't complain. It is super old, but it's in good shape. Anyways, let's get it hooked up to the tractor. We're running at a day late and I still gotta go to town at some point so we can get some seed. Well, here goes nothing. Our very first pass. Okay, so it seems to be the ground dried out a nice bit, so it was a good thing we couldn't get this till today because I would have had the tractor stuck. But we need to get this done pretty quick so we can actually put seed in the ground. It is September the 4th. We're getting pretty late in the season and I got other stuff I gotta do. I promised I would help Ricky with that property, so he wants to do that very soon. And I can't say no because I need the money to buy a solar panel. Because right now we're using a generator and I want to be completely off grid by winter. And the gas for the generator is starting to add up. Anyways, I've been doing this for a couple hours now. It's getting pretty late and we're about halfway done. I was hoping I was going to get this done today for the fact that I gotta run to town and it's about a 2-hour drive each way. So I don't know if we're going to be able to unless I can get this done within an hour. And I'm finally on the last pass and we still got a bit of time, so I guess we might run to town. I just gotta make sure I take my gas cans and a couple other things we can get filled up while we're in town. Yes, I finally got it done. Yes. Okay, so we're gonna park the tractor. We're gonna hop in our truck. Okay, so I got the tractor parked. We got the seeder ready to go for tomorrow morning. We just gotta go to town and get the seed. Now I'm gonna put the gas cans in back of the truck with the propane tank and we'll get that filled up. Yeah, so there's actually a lot of stones in this field. I'm hoping it's not gonna affect our yield too much, but I just don't have one and Farmer John got one, but he's too far away. It would delay us too much, so it is what it is at this point. Anyways, I'll see you guys tomorrow.